Go. Okay. Hi, guys, and welcome to episode 2, where I'm joined with Arushi. So, Arushi, do you want to introduce yourself to my millions of viewers?
Hi, I'm Arushi. I'm an econ student at the University of Nottingham, and I'm very honoured to be here. Thank you.
Yes, yes, we love that. And let's describe each other in 3 words.
For me
So,
first.
okay, whatever, like me or you.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Chandni, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to say funny because you can't say Chandni and not funny.
thank you, thank you. I think I'm gonna hear this every episode.
Yeah, but don't let it get to you.
Yeah. Do you remember that
Um,
phase I had in year 12 where I just told everyone that I'm just funny?
Genuinely, I'd ask you in econ, like I'll ask you a question about the work, and you'll be like, Arushi, I'm just the funniest person ever, and it'll be like, bro, tell me the answer.
Wait, did you say 3?
No, I said one.
Okay.
Number two, I would say positive.
Okay, thank you.
I feel that, you know, and then number three, I would say very driven or like motivated, like
Thank
in
you.
your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have another word, but I can't think of it. So
Okay, I'll go. So,
dedicated to word. You're dedicated to your work and your friends and all that.
oh, thank you. So if I were to describe Arushi in 3 words, I would definitely say creative. And I don't just mean like creative in like art, because she's very good at art, but also as in like, I feel like the way you approach problems, I feel like you just find different solutions and like, I don't know, you're creative. For number 2, I would also say like very driven, because even if it's not just like your uni work, but like even the stuff we do with like Adventures with Amara, which is like our startup, outside of like your uni work, you spend so much of your time on that, and like you do it without complaining, and it's just amazing.
Yeah,
And the third word, I would say I would say witty, because your puns are very good. Like Arushi and puns, like yeah, you just go hand in
don't
hand.
gas it too
Okay, so for today's episode, we are basically going to talk about beauty standards and why you shouldn't listen to them. And this is for like girls especially, because I feel like being female in society, you have to like be constricted, or like you kind of have to follow like loads of these things in order to like be pretty, or like but yeah, do you want to kind of, Arishi, do you want to give like an introduction, like what beauty standards are and like how do they affect us?
much. So we're all affected by beauty standards, whether you're male or female. Like is everywhere around us, and it's
Yeah.
sort of a social construct that physical attractiveness is one of a, like a woman's most important asset, and from a young age we're kind of led to believe that that's something we should aspire to and we should
Yeah.
achieve and maintain.
Yeah, so
So
um
yeah,
from our overall research, like when Arushi and I were brainstorming, we kind of realized like um beauty standards as a whole, it's like it's just so it's I don't even know why it's a thing. Like what we did,
exactly.
yeah, so what we did was we Arushi actually has like lots of knowledge on like the historical aspects of how females were portrayed in society. And she actually wrote an essay on that, which we'll go into. And we also wanted to talk about why we wear makeup and pretty privilege. And then in the final part of the episode, we're going to talk about like tips to gain self-confidence. So I feel like we should just go straight into it. Like Arushi, do you want to just like talk about like the whole historical aspect of beauty standards? Like I was amazed when she told me about this, but yeah.
So in today's society we do have beauty standards and we all kind of know what they are. Go to the gyms, stay skinny, all that, you know. But what I find really weird is that if you take beauty icons from today, like the supermodels that we see, and put them into past eras, they would not be considered attractive at all. um like in fact the opposite. Like they'd be considered skinny and sickly and all that.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
strange to think about that. And so when I was doing my art A level, I was kind of thinking about those kind of things, and I was looking at beauty standards in a historical perspective, and how beauty standards have been constantly evolving over eras. And I was looking at the impact that art had on beauty standards. So it really has the ability to create and reinforce a norm for beauty. And so my essay was exploring whether the depiction of women in art was distorted by the male gaze and the male bias, that kind of thing. And so I looked at 3 different paintings, and they all kind of had different themes, and they're all by different artists, but they're notable pieces from the Renaissance era. So the start of the Renaissance era was the beginning of the divorce of art and religion. So art was no longer it no longer had the religious context. It wouldn't be presented in churches and all that. It wouldn't be commissioned by the church. And so that gave artists a lot more freedom over what they were painting. And at the very start of the Renaissance era, a famous artist called Botticelli created The Birth of Venus. And Venus comes from, I think, Platonic writings. I don't really know, but
what are Platonic writings?
From Plato.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I'm not sure. You have to fact check that.
No, it's fine.
She's presented as the epitome of Renaissance beauty, and the beauty standards that are held by men. So it's
what is that?
A blend of
yeah.
It's a blend of provocation and modesty. So it's a nude figure, but she's kind of hiding herself in a way to show her modesty, and that's kind of what women were told to be like in that era. And she's she's an enduring icon of female splendor, and her painting really reflects the ideals placed on women in that era. And what I find really, really strange about that, not strange, but like her body is distorted beyond what is physically possible, like anatomically.
So it's like Photoshop now.
It is Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's the Renaissance version of Photoshop. And I was, I discussed that a lot in my essay, and I explored that through my art. But
that is so cool.
Maybe, Photoshop really isn't like a recent phenomenon. It's been going on for ages, just in different formats.
we just digitalized it in our era. But I feel like with paintings, painters must have like the women must have asked, or men may have asked painters to like paint them in a certain way, or like make their body look a certain way, just so they can fit into like the societal standards in the certain time. But like I feel like when you told me about that, like the way that her body was like distorted beyond physical means, or like I just found it like people, even like women in the past, were kind of distorting their bodies to like look a certain way, and it's just wow.
Do you remember like when we learned about the Tudors, Anne of Cleves, I think she was from, I don't know where she was from, but when her painting was presented,
I think it was Spain or Portugal. She was she was somewhere from there. I remember in year 5 history. Yeah.
But when her painting was presented to Henry VIII, she was like, "Yeah, this woman's great. Let me marry her." And then she turned up, and he was like, "This isn't the same woman."
He got catfished.
Described her. Yeah, he got catfished back in the Tudor era. So yeah, her painting was edited to appeal to in that time.
So in the Renaissance period, what would you kind of summarize what the beauty standards, like, you know, when The Birth of Venus was painted, what do you think the beauty standards like in general were for women at that time?
Well, a lot of women's role in society at that point was mainly as childbearers. So it was like wide hips, because that's an indicator of like a healthy woman, and the ability to bear a load of children. But also later on in the Renaissance era, I also looked at the portrait of Isabella de Medici, and she was a very powerful woman in that time. You know, she was very intelligent, very witty, very well educated, and at one point she was the first lady of Florence, and that is a lot of power for one woman at that time. But she had a slightly scandalous private life, and a portrait was commissioned of her to clean up her image and present her as like a pious, virtuous woman. And you can see that her features have been edited in that painting as well. So a lot of the traits that were desirable was a high plucked forehead, which in today's world, it's the complete opposite. So a really high forehead, high eyebrows, really pale skin, and that's in order to make her look intelligent and beautiful and virtuous. And then later on, what's 200 years later, a Victorian artist completely covered up those features and replaced them with the Victorian beauty standards in order to make the painting more saleable. And it just goes to show how much beauty standards change over time.
Yeah, like the fact that they had to paint over their foreheads to make their foreheads smaller, like in the future, that just kind of shows like, and that kind of reminds me, like, you know, when you go to Hampton Court Palace, you see all of Henry VIII's wives. They have such big foreheads in the portraits. Yeah. And the fact that later on some painters actually had to paint over their foreheads to conform to the new beauty standards, it just kind of shows how they're literally ever changing. And I feel like no matter what you do, you're just not gonna fit in, like,
exactly.
for a long period of time.
Even in our 18, 19 years, we've seen beauty standards completely change.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when eyebrows were not a thing at all.
Yeah. Do you remember when thin eyebrows were a thing? In like the early 2000s, like people would pluck them to have them really thin, and now it's like big Instagram eyebrows. Like, yeah. No, literally. I feel like now looking at it historically, I feel like with your analysis, we can literally kind of realize that this has been going on for such a long time, like for women to look a certain way, to be perceived a certain way. And I feel like when you compare it, I feel like in modern times, I feel like the only difference is that I feel like standards are a bit more inclusive now. I feel like there is much more I feel like acceptance with different body types. Obviously, there's a long way to go, but you do get a lot of like body positivity, like even like body positivity influencers posts on social media. You get like I feel like things are way more inclusive now. Like people try and embrace the different skin colors. Like, do you remember? I feel like in especially in India, even now, you have like they have this obsession with being fair and lovely, literally. Oh my God. Like they just have an obsession with being fair, but like I feel like now, especially in the Western countries, like they really trying to embrace like the darker skin tones, and I feel like slowly people are becoming inclusive, but there is still a long way to go when you think about
like
it.
our definition of beauty is a lot wider than it was for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a long way to go, I think.
Yeah.
And we don't even need a beauty standard. Like,
yeah, literally. Like I feel the whole message for this episode that Arushi and I have is like literally just if you be yourself, I feel like that's the most you can do, because beauty standards, because they're always changing, you're never gonna conform in one box. You're never gonna like you're never gonna like fit for a long period of time. You might as well just be yourself, be confident in yourself instead of
and
and
they don't just change over time. They're different in every country. Like some countries value fair skin, some countries value height. It's just different everywhere. So you're never gonna fit into one universal mold.
Yeah, but I feel like now we should move on to makeup. So this section's kind of about like why do we wear makeup? Why is it a thing? So if Arushi, if I were let's like ask each other. So if I were to ask you like why do you wear makeup? What would your answer be?
I'm not really sure. That's why like I wanted to talk about it. But I think it's more for confidence. Like if I put on makeup, I just feel more confident in myself.
Same.
And it just makes me feel better.
Yeah. I feel like with makeup, for me, it's kind of like 50-50, right? Because actually not 50-50, but there's like kind of two underlying
Yeah, there's
reasons. So that
yeah,
one of the reasons is obviously like to make myself feel better and like just for myself, just feel better and like more confident and stuff. But I feel like there's another part, it's like looking good for other people, which I hate to admit, but I
yeah,
feel like deep down
yeah.
for everyone,
I
there
feel
is
like
like a little bit, yeah, to
I feel like we really struggle to admit that, but maybe there is a reason why we don't entirely do it for ourselves. And I was telling you this, like the reason why I was thinking about it was when I had an interview and I put makeup on for it without even thinking about it. And then
yeah.
after doing the interview, I was like, why did I do that? Like, it doesn't matter what I look like; it should be what I'm saying. But maybe part of it, I feel more confident in doing the interview. But maybe part of it is that pretty more or like more attractive people do have a social advantage.
Yeah, yeah, and we're actually gonna have like a whole we're actually gonna talk about later on pretty privilege on its own, like the whole thing. But I feel like yeah, with makeup it's kind of conflicted, and I feel like in a way makeup is really good because it allows people to like explore their own creativity and like they can basically transform themselves in a way that they want to, right? But I feel like then again it's kind of you kind of ask yourself like do I need to wear like do I need to change my features in order to look good for other people? So
Yeah,
yeah. Um
but
so yeah.
I was gonna say like part of why we wear it might be strategic. So like there was a recent experiment that shows that women that wear cosmetics are evaluated as healthier, more confident, and have even greater earning potential compared to those that don't wear makeup.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think that's really interesting. Maybe
Yeah, and
when
it's you just kind of think it's like if you're applying for a job which is literally just about how skilled you are, right? Why does how you look or how presentable you look kind of impact your
I know
employability? Like it just makes you think like
it's
why is
really
that a
weird,
thing? Yeah.
and obviously maybe attractiveness does have some kind of effect on men's earning potential, but not to the same extent. And they don't really edit themselves that much in order to appeal to their.
Yeah, I feel like with men, obviously they have their own like beauty standards that they have to conform to, like be tall or like be
Yeah,
muscly but not too muscly, and
yeah,
like have a beard that connects. But I feel like I feel like with them it's like if you don't look as good, it's like oh you just go on about with your life like you can still
yeah,
like you don't really worry because you still see like clapped or like ugly guys with really pretty girls and it's like
yeah,
do you get what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I get it, and I think like the reason why that is like from a young age, girls are kind of led to believe that it's like it's our primary function to look like
Yeah, to like
pretty and
wear makeup
be
and like
appealing to men,
yeah.
and like literally from a young age, like you look at Barbies, they've all got makeup on, lipstick, eyeshadow, all that, mascara.
Yeah.
Um,
And you even
we were
get
talking about
those kid mini makeup kits with like the eyeshadow palettes that are shaped like butterflies, and you're like,
yeah,
"Yay, let's go do our makeup."
yeah,
Like I
like the
remember doing
covered
that in like year 6. Like when I used to go to a friend's house, we just had like our little like those really bad
makeup
lipsticks
kits
and
with
those
the bad
yeah,
eyeshadow things.
yeah,
And like you get them free with the girls magazines and like the Lely
yeah.
Kelly shoes.
Oh my God, Lely Kelly shoes. Like literally, Arushi found out that they sell, I think what was it, lip gloss or something with them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the reason why I hated the shoes, but I wanted them because they came with the free lipsticks and the free
I
eyeshadows.
actually
I
never
never
got the
got them,
shoes. I used
but
to see the
I never
ads
got them.
all the time. I used to see the ads
Oh,
all the time, but
you
I
can't
never
forget
got
that
them.
ad.
Yeah. Do you wanna explain that Shakespeare quote you found from Hamlet about makeup? I was shook when I heard this. Like, but
So yeah, so I found this Shakespeare quote, and it's I've heard all about you women and your cosmetics too. God gives you one face, but you paint another on top of it. And I think the sentiment in that quote is really similar to what boys would say about men would say about makeup.
Yeah.
Like they're very dismissive and yeah, not very
They
fond of makeup.
for boys, especially like in our generation, when they feel like a girl wears too much makeup, in their eyes, she's kind of her reputation's kind of gone lower because she's like not what she is, or like she's not like what she's worth. Do you get me? She's kind of worth less because she doesn't look the way she does without makeup.
Yeah,
And I feel
like
like that's so messed up.
we're meant to aspire to a full face of like natural makeup, but without any makeup.
No, literally.
So
And it's like, and it's another thing with like plastic surgery as well. Like, usually guys they like girls, or like the Instagram models have obviously had lip fillers and like
mm,
face fillers and everything. They're like, oh my God, she looks so good
Photoshop.
natural. And it's like, bro, she's literally had a full face of plastic surgery done. And it's but then if a girl they know were to get plastic surgery or something like that, they'd be like, oh my God, you're so fake. Like, I
Yeah,
can't, yeah. So I feel like
like
there's,
you're lying.
yeah, literally. And I feel like the double standards really need to be sorted out.
There's actually a Calvin Klein quote that's the best thing is to look natural, but it takes makeup to look natural. And
Literally, like
why does it
the
so
amount of
well?
times the amount of times I've searched up on YouTube like natural makeup routines, or like natural face makeup, and it's just, yeah. I feel like maybe it would be nice to for society to kind of embrace natural skin textures as well. Oh my God, can we talk about Instagram face filters? They literally change the face of the shape of your face. Like,
It's a completely different person. And then like the more you see other people use it and the more you use it yourself, you start hating your own features
and then
so
when
much.
you look in the mirror or see real pictures of yourself, you're kind of like, why do I look so different? It's like, because you've literally just been seeing people with influencers, especially with just that face filter that makes your lips big and your nose really tiny, and it's just like,
Yeah. And like the TikTok camera does it like I don't know, I've opened my TikTok camera and it just does it without telling you. And then you see yourself in that camera and then you see yourself in the mirror and you're like, what?
yeah, oh my God. I feel like it's very it it's very, I feel like, dangerous in a way, because
Yeah.
if you forget to take a step back and say, okay, those are filters, those are fake, I don't actually look like that, I feel like you go into a spiral where you just become more and more insecure with yourself. And I feel
Mm.
like that then drives on to like those makeup companies. Maybe we found a secret link here. Maybe Instagram
Yeah.
face filters are secretly trying to
Are
boost the,
sponsored.
yes, are sponsored
Yeah.
by makeup companies that like literally feed off your insecurities. And
And and have you heard about those women that are going to plastic surgeons and asking them to make them look like a Snapchat filter?
yeah, yeah, oh my God. And it's just like, if I was a plastic surgeon, I'd literally start laughing.
Go home.
Literally. But like, I feel like it's kind of sad that
Yeah.
we we find like, even when I'm in a Snapchat filter, I feel 10 times prettier. I'm like usually
Yeah.
I don't take selfies without that, that Snapchat filter that just makes the skin softer, and like,
Yeah. Eyes
yeah,
bigger,
like literally
nose
everyone uses that
skinnier.
filter, but it's kind of like, why do we use it? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
just,
so it's so hard.
yeah. And I feel like another thing with makeup, I feel like when we look at it again as like the reason as to why we wear it, do you think it's because men kind of expect us to look more better, or like, what do you think, like more decorated for them?
I don't know. It's kind of difficult, and I can't exactly figure out the answer to it. But like you see the universal signs of beauty. Like you have like um even skin tone, plump lips, wide eyes, flushed cheeks, and that's all a sign of good health. And that's what like appeals to men, like
Yeah,
more of a reproductive thing. But that's kind of fed into like how we do our makeup. So when we do our makeup, we use concealer and foundation to make our skin tone even, and lipsticks and lip fillers to make our
yeah,
lips more plump. So it maybe does come from the male gaze and to appeal to men, But
Yeah.
because why have we decided that we want those certain features to be enhanced? Like,
Yeah, I feel like then again it goes on to like makeup companies and how they kind of feed off our insecurities. And I feel like that is
yeah,
kind of a
for sure.
conversation that needs to be had because
Yeah,
it's we don't really I didn't deep this until when we were researching for this episode. Like I didn't properly um comprehend like how much of a big impact our insecurities have on the revenue of makeup companies. Like when you think about the amount of money they make through like I don't know, like lash extensions, lashes, eyebrow fillers, contour kits, like you even get
yeah,
lip plumpers now. Like, have you seen the Benefit lip
exactly.
plumper? It literally burns your lips to make them bigger.
Yeah, it burns
Like,
your lips to make it look bigger.
like that's what we go through to look a certain way. Like, it's just, I don't
And
know.
people are getting fox eye surgeries and all that just for that trend to pass a few years down the
Yeah.
line.
And the fox eye is so problematic because it's literally kind of appropriating Asian eyes. And I feel
Yeah,
like, and yeah, it's just, there's just so many problems with beauty standards and trends that,
and like they make so much money. Like this woman, she might be born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline, buy our product.
oh my God, yeah. Literally, those advert campaigns. Also, have Victoria's Secret shows been like stopped now?
I'm pretty sure they have,
Oh,
but
was
they
it because was it I swear I remember reading something about how like it was because of um they didn't want to advertise unrealistic body standards or something like that.
yeah, like they were trying to appeal to a sort of fantasy kind of thing.
Yeah. But I feel like if like literally when we were in like year 7 to like year 10, you always remember seeing like Victoria's Secret fashion shows, like always on like
Yeah.
the Snapchat Daily Mail news updates
Oh
after
my
they
God, it
happened,
was
and you would
such a
just see
big
these
thing,
skinny
and
models. Yeah.
yeah,
And also, do you remember like especially in I don't know if they did this in the UK stores, but I remember they used to do it. Like, you know, Abercrombie and Fitch or Hollister, they used to have like topless boys outside the store.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
and they would just stand there with the bags like, oh yeah, buy our stuff. But it's just
yeah,
kind of
yeah. The bags would be like the shirtless models as
that
well.
like again promoting like I feel like physically perfect people.
Yeah, and
Um
like even Hollister employees have to be attractive to be hired. So it kind of is kind of like if you shop at Hollister, then maybe you'll be attractive. So yeah,
yeah. I feel like to kind of um normalize normal faces, I feel like we need to have more I feel like equal representation of people in the media and movies and stuff. I feel like Netflix is doing such a good job of that at the moment. They have so many shows, especially Bridgerton and stuff like that, where they just have such a racially diverse and like not people that have gone undergone lots of plastic surgery. Not that plastic surgery is bad. Obviously, get it done if you want to do it. There's nothing bad with it, but I feel like it's wrong when you say that you haven't got it done. And
mm-hmm.
with especially, I feel like in the beginning, Kylie Jenner, when she got her lip fillers done and she was kind of denying them, and she
Yeah,
then created her whole lip kit brand. And I feel like at that time, and she still does have lots of little girls following her.
yeah.
I feel like
So
kind of,
so many so many
yeah,
young girls see what she's doing and feel like they don't have the awareness to say, oh, she's got plastic surgery. She edits her photos beyond recognition, and it just starts the problem from such a young
yeah.
age.
Yeah, like I didn't even like I saw this post and it was like I didn't even realize like Kim, like that whole family, they got their teeth done, like they all got facelifts and like you don't realize it because they never like say it out there. But like the fact that they've
Yeah,
got each and every little thing done and you're just like,
yeah.
oh my God, like you were
Even
hiding this.
even without even without all the plastic surgery, they have makeup routines that are $1,000 plus whatever, professional makeup artists, studio
Yeah.
lighting. So what we see is far, far from reality.
That's so true. And I feel like that goes on to like social media being so toxic. I feel like in this whole
Yeah.
scenario, okay, because everyone, especially in our generation, the generation above us, literally everyone is on social media. Everyone
Mhm.
follows the models. I do. You probably do as well. Like everyone
I
follows,
think.
yeah, literally everyone follows the Kardashians. Everyone follows like
Yeah.
the good looking people. Okay. And that's what we're exposed to literally every day. We go on our phones every
Mhm.
day. We see that every day. And it's,
Yeah.
you just kind of think it's, you don't realize that you're kind of being brainwashed to think that is a certain way that you're supposed to look. But slowly, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you kind of think, oh my God, I do look different from them. And it's because like
Yeah.
we haven't we don't have those like $10,000 makeup routines. We don't have those $10,000 procedures on our faces. And then it makes you feel insecure a little bit. And you
Mhm.
just I feel like
Yeah.
it's such a bad cycle that we need to bring more awareness into.
And yeah, that's a lot on Instagram and then TikTok. Literally in a week, you can pick up 10 different insecurities. Like people will be making trends like, is this part of your face equal to this part of your face? What does your back profile look like? What does this look like?
Oh my
Oh,
God,
what
the
does your
TikTok
side
trends
profile look
where
like?
literally, when they invert your face and then
That ruined my life.
because it's like no 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 trust me, back camera pictures and like inverted pictures, they always mess up my brain because you always see the mirror image of yourself, right? And
Yeah.
then when you see these inverted pictures, you're like, what the hell is wrong with my face? But then you kind of think, oh, like that's how people see me normally, because when i'm
Yeah, like
when I'm looking at
it's just
people
because
from
you're
my
so,
eyes.
yeah. It's because you're so used to seeing like the mirror version of
Yeah.
yourself or like the front
But
camera
when
version
I
of yourself.
when I look at other people, I never think, oh, their face is flipped. Like I just
Yeah.
look
And
at
when
them
you look at their
normally.
selfies and like them normally, you never think, oh well, that's
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
yeah, that's
So
so true. I feel like,
I think we just need to get that thought out of our head.
again, this runs back to our running message throughout this whole episode that beauty standards are literally bullshit. They
Bullshit.
are, yeah, don't listen to them, they're bad. Just be
Yeah.
yourself. Just be yourself, take care of yourself. Like just I feel like take care of yourself physically and mentally. You'll be fine. I feel like that's the way to be happy and not. And also,
Yeah.
I feel like now we should talk about like our tips for self-confidence. Do you want to start off with the first step that we came up with?
Um. So well, it goes along the idea of fake it till you make it. So your brain is so gullible. Just keep telling yourself that you're like the baddest bitch ever, and then you'll start to believe it.
No, literally, like if like I think Karija said this in the last episode as well, like fake it till you make it in all aspects of your life. Trust me, it
Mhm.
works because the more you tell yourself something, the more your brain believes it. I feel like the more you
Exactly.
tell yourself that you're confident, that you're completely fine the way you are, your brain will just like condition itself
Like
to believe that. And
yeah,
I feel like then that will, when you have confidence, when you start to build confidence in yourself, it kind of has positive impacts on the other areas of your life as well. Like you start feeling less insecure when you're interacting socially, you start feeling less insecure. I feel like even the way you present yourself to people as well. And I feel like that's such a positive like impact if you just feel more confident in yourself. So yeah, fake it till you
yeah.
make it. On the other tip
Like
was,
everyone will see you as that confident person, and eventually that will become you.
yeah, yeah. And I feel our other tip was, because obviously we're always on social media, you have to be mindful of your social media feed. You have to unfollow toxic influencers that are always, I feel like, promoting unrealistic body standards, um, unrealistic face structures. I feel
Yeah.
like you have to unfollow, especially if these celebrities are taking up a massive proportion of your feed, you have to at least cut some of them out and have some normal
Yeah.
people on your feed.
And
Uh,
another part of social media is so toxic is UK meme pages. Oh
oh
my
my
god.
God.
Like, oh, women in like calling women dragons. Oh, what's your excuse? Why don't you look like this? And you see that over and over again. cut that
And
out.
you deep it, like that is the mentality of most of the boys in our generation in this country. And you
Yeah,
just kind of think like,
and
oh my God, like,
the younger generations will start believing in that, and it's just
and they start
an
thinking
endless
like
cycle,
that. Yeah, I feel like UK meme
and
pages need to
and
sort
acting
out.
on it as well.
Yeah, yeah,
And also, not just cutting out the toxicity on your feeds, it's also like replacing your feed with like body positivity and influences that make you feel good about yourself, or
yeah.
yeah, just confidence, pages that boost your confidence.
Yeah, you get so many good pages out there. I'll put some in the description because I actually have a few, but there's one, I think it's called Weaver Urban. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they have those really aesthetic like posts that it's like, oh, like things you might need to hear today, or like it's just really cute and they have like really
yeah.
positive stuff and it's nice to see on your feed in the morning, like when you're scrolling and stuff. And I think the last and most important tip to kind of
Oh,
sum up every
just
yeah.
go to go back, like TikTok.
Oh
You're
my
not in
God.
control of your feed at all. Like, and TikTok's not that great. You can delete it if it makes you feel bad about yourself, because the beauty standards that are promoted on there are crazy, and
Bro,
they're so
when I
achievable.
tell you TikTok and you see all these pretty girls on TikTok, and all of my friends have said this, everyone I know who has TikTok has said at one point that the pretty girls on TikTok have made them feel insecure. They've made me feel insecure. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you just, it's more worse on TikTok. It's because the girls on there don't have filters on, or like,
Well, they
that's just
do
how,
have like
oh,
beauty features on and all that, and you
oh,
can't
yeah,
even.
yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, they have beauty filters on, but it's just kind of like when you're in a video, it's kind of like more real life. So you just
More
kind of
realistic.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like what they look like, and you're just like, okay, great. And then you're scrolling in bed, and everyone obviously just looks like a mess in bed, and you're like, great, love that for
You know
me.
those videos that are like film yourself in the position that you're watching it, and it's literally like the phone's there, and
Literally, oh my God. Yeah. I feel like that kind of goes on to our last tip, and the most important tip is literally not to give a shit about what people think. You have to just not care, because I feel like when you care too much about what other people think, you literally go crazy. I've been through this before, and I've actually gotten way better at not caring what people think. But
yeah,
trust me, it's something you have to build up, and it's something you have to get
yeah.
better at. But once you kind of master it, your life just becomes better in all the different
So
ways.
much. I
Yeah,
think one thing that really helped me, like, sort of realize that people don't give a shit, or help me realize that I don't give a shit about what people think either, is that like when I find myself like nitpicking at a certain feature, like,
yeah,
oh, I hate my side profile, or my face is so wonky and like asymmetrical, I just think to myself, like, I have never ever thought about, I've never seen that in another person when, oh, your face is wonky, your nose
same.
is ugly.
Like I
So
say
why
this
would
to
people say
myself.
that about me?
Yeah,
Like,
that's so
no
true.
one cares.
Literally, that's so true. Oh my God. Um, yeah, I feel like this kind of sums up our episode. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just to bring it back to the start, like we were talking about how beauty standards have been evolving over time and how they're different just in every part of the world.
Yeah,
So it just goes to show that our idea of beauty is always shifting,
yeah,
and it's so hard to fit into that. So you might as well just be yourself.
yeah, literally, you might as well just be yourself. Yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this episode, and timestamps will be added so you can skip wherever. But yeah, thank you, Arushi, for joining us today and giving your excellent intellectual input on your historical essay on like how beauty standards were at that time, and just kind of this whole conversation on beauty standards now. I feel like this has been an amazing episode, and thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
inviting.
Yes, yes. And I always
Very honest.
forget yes. And guys, just like, subscribe again if you're the one person who's at the end of this video. Well done. You just
Sorry,
spent 39
sorry, I
minutes.
waffled my way through that.
You just listened to 39 minutes of waffle, but it was intellectual waffle. So yes.
So should we comment the
Yeah, comment a lipstick emoji, or like, yeah, comment a lipstick emoji if you got to this point.
yeah
Yeah. Or just be
And
like, or just comment, wow, this is an amazing episode if you got to this point, and like,
oh wait, I have a question which kind of links into this whole thing. It
yeah,
came up in a conversation sometime last year, and I want to ask it to you.
okay.
What's your favorite physical feature?
About myself,
Yeah,
I have two. I like my eyes, and I also like the color of my lips because they're naturally pink. And always, everyone asks me, "Are you wearing lipstick?" I'm like, "No, those are my lips." And yes, I like
and
my
to
eyes as
all the
well.
viewers, think about what your favorite physical feature is, and if you want to comment it, if not, just message
Yes,
it to us.
comment your favorite feature about yourself. Yes, yes. And Arushi, what is your favorite physical feature about yourself?
See, this baffled me for a very long time, but I think I've got an answer.
Okay.
Someone told me a while ago that I smile like my mum, so it's my smile.
You and your mom look the same. You guys literally look the
I
same.
promise, I promise we don't, but
You guys are twins. But yeah, you also have really nice teeth. You never had braces, right?
no.
Yeah, that's insane. Like smile. This girl literally never had braces. Neither did I, but like hers is just like wow. But yeah.
No, but I my teeth has been a mad journey. I was born with two teeth. Lost them when I was two. They didn't grow back till I was 5, and I had a massive gap. Like I could stick my
You
tongue
were
in between.
toothless till you were 5?
No, no, I did have some teeth, but the main front teeth, they were gone.
Oh my God. You know, for me, my baby teeth, so these two teeth, they're straight now, right? Surprisingly. But before these two fell out, they were like parallel to each other. So they were like literally like this, okay? And I could literally like when I had a mouthful of water, like it could literally spew out. Like those are my teeth. And they were actually I don't know if this is the reason why my teeth are straight, these two teeth especially, but when these were really wobbly, right? I don't know why I'm sharing this on YouTube, but I'm gonna say it anyway because no one's gonna be listening at this point. But when my
We're
two
at
teeth
42.
when these two teeth were baby teeth were wobbly, they're really wobbly, like really loose. Like I could literally pull them out. What I did was because they were like this anyway, I just like twisted them, pulled them out. It didn't hurt because it was so loose. But I feel like that's why they're straight now because the twist might have just twisted them straight again. But yeah,
If
that's
there's
my
any future dentists watching this, comment down below. And also your frauds, because my dentist told me that my teeth would never grow back, and they did. So here we are.
but yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Yep.
Do we say bye? Bye.
Hi guys.